look in the eyes of my brother.
Yo.
Without shedding a tear for my brother.
Welcome back to another episode of the InforMILLy Honest Podcast. We appreciate y'all for joining us another week of informal honesty. And above all else, no matter how we connect or whatever subject we talk about, we're going to pride ourselves in those three principles. If you know them, say them with me, and we're going to say them later. So if you don't know them, you can say them then. And that's being forthright, being vulnerable, and most of all, be honest. As much of a challenge as that can be sometimes, just be honest.
Just do it.
This is Josh signing in. Fellas, rattle it off.
Hey, Adam.
Okay.
Who said it the same time? Yeah. There we go. This ain't no single file shit.
This is Adam at 92.3.
This is the boy Marcus. Welcome to the program, as the old folks say.
The program.
This is A-Dub for the 9-9 and this is
We're taking over. So, fellas, we got a myriad, a cornucopia, a clusterfuck of subjects, if you will. Most of which probably not gonna last that long, but if I know anything about the nigga from Gary, we can take something insignificant and talk about it for far too long. And so, we can. Which way we want to go? Do we want to go? These are all gonna be pop subjects or sports. So, do we want to go funny sport, annoying sport, horrible R&B, or other R&B?
I'm choosing horrible R&B for 5,000. I'm putting all my eggs in one basket.
All right, horrible R&B. So, Robert is back in the news.
Hey, you see, you thought he was trapped in the closet, but he's back. Anyway.
Roberto Calandria is back in the news because Kim Fox, Cook County State Attorney, is dropping multiple sex abuse charges against the R&B singer, saying that he's already facing a stern enough punishment. We don't need to do all of this and waste the court's money and time by indicting him for things that we clearly know he did. He's already going to be in jail forever. Do you have thoughts or feelings about this? I personally go, as long as he's still there, sure. You can. It's like when you find out like some verse that like, we sentence you to 1,000 years, and you're like, what's the point of that?
Absolutely. At this point, it's just like, if you continue with the indictments, who is it helping? Maybe the family is like, I want to have my day in court still because, blah, blah, blah. And like, I understand that, but the best thing you can do for that person, like outside of like therapy and whatnot, is like put the offender away.
Now, I'll give you that.
And it's gone.
Yeah. If there's some money for the victims to make, then sure. Okay. That I can.
And we are a sue-happy country. Boy, oh boy.
I'm motherfuckers with money be suing. I ain't got money for that. Court costs too much.
That honestly was going to be like my major point, that like, as long as the victims feel that they haven't reached justice in their case, then that's possibly not the right, thing to do. Because like they saying like he gonna be there anyway, so that can go either way. Like, might as well go through with the case.
But what if some evidence come through, and that something happens, the case gets thrown out, and then he gets released?
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, yeah.
I mean, the odds that happen are slim, but like, what if some crazy turn of events happen? And it's like, oh, we're not going to charge him, and then he files some type of appeal or something 3 years from now, and he gets released. Like, oh damn, well, it's too late.
Now, if a case gets thrown out, can it still be reopened?
Yeah, like at what point is it completely? Is it really a cold case and it's just completely closed? And unapproachable anymore. Like I feel like people reopen cases from the 80s and the 70s and 80s and shit.
Well, okay. So a cold case you can reopen, but like a closed case is a closed case.
Oh, so I guess cold and closed are not the same. Gotcha.
No.
That would be
crime junkies experience.
I got to get back on my 48 hours and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I listen to true crime podcasts all the time. So, but no, like that's a good point though.
Word, Marcus, did you say something? You got a little muffled.
No, I was gonna say I believe that's double jeopardy. What they call it when you cannot
it is
open a case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we actually said that word.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So you were saying, what if I guess, how many situations could happen? I know we all agreed that it's slim chance of it even happening, but some sort of evidence maybe going missing or some shit like, or what new information could come? I'm just curious to like hear some ideas. What new information could come that would actually get him out?
We are not making evidence for him to get exonerated.
No, hold on. I'm just saying, like it's not like it wasn't proven that he was the offender in plenty of other cases and is getting what he deserves. So he's still facing time for that. Whoever's coming up next, why would he just get out after not serving the time that he got for actually committing the crime?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So like going forward, go ahead, Marcus.
I was gonna say, knowing our justice system, anything could happen. Anything could happen though, for real.
We're gonna find out that all 116 of those little girls that he fucked had Benjamin Button disease. And they were adults the whole time.
Yeah.
That was Kels. That was the Pied Piper. That wasn't R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Do y'all know
there's always a possibility that he just start acting like he's insane. So that's one.
I mean, it's also a possibility that he's living in the fifth dimension or some shit, but I
mean, I would argue, how do you think that he's anything but insane? And that's not like insane of, we get to excuse some of this or give some kind of grace to it. It's insane because when that one reporter, I can't think of his name right now, that was like, do you have sexual relations with teenage girls? And he was like, what is a teenager?
Yeah, what do you mean by girls? Or whatever.
Yeah, it was some weird, it was some weird answer, but it wasn't no. Like the fact that the answer wasn't no is the wrong answer. It's a
softball of a question.
Yeah.
But
y'all killing me.
Do y'all know about that? I think it's a TLC show about the chick who is 24 but trapped in an 8-year-old's body.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. And she like lives she's like lives at home and shit. And she's a full-grown adult, but she got like some like rare disease. So. Yeah, like 22, 23, something like that. She's in her early 20s. She got a rare disease where her body never aged past 8. So she can't drive and all that.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
What's the dude name? Hasbullah?
Oh, the Russian cat? The Russian cat? Yeah, dude. He's hilarious.
Well,
that was it. He's just
explain that something like y'all know him.
He's a funny dude, you know.
The context of that?
Yeah, I thought he was an actual Russian cat.
No, like he's actually he actually is the equivalent of gentleman. Yeah,
he's like 3 feet tall and he's like maybe 20 something, and like he looks like a kid. And all don't see him for some reason.
Yeah, he's on a lot of like Instagram shorts or like YouTube shorts for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's a crazy thing that I heard was a recent development. That chick now has a fully regular boyfriend. And the internet is tearing him fucking apart. Because he's like, because regardless of how brilliant of a young lady she may be, she looks like a toddler.
Let's get into it. All right. I think I saw. I saw.
Can't go there. I can't do it.
It's like an anime or something that's like that. Like this girl can't age or something. I can't think of what it is.
I think I saw like an episode when she was like going on dates and stuff with people. I didn't know. I think they aired an episode, and I was like, let me see who's actually trying to like blind date her real quick. And don't front like you don't know. Like it's not 100% blind. Don't front like you don't know, dog. When you see her, be like, oh shit. I had no idea that I was a pervert.
Hey, yo, I was watching.
No, technically not.
What's that vampire?
Yes. Go ahead, Marco.
What's that? Diaries of a Vampire. I want to say.
Vampire Diaries.
No, with Tom Cruise and
Oh yeah, that's and Brad Pitt. That's back in the day, dog.
Yeah. Oh, the older movie. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I believe it's dumb. Vampire. Something about something.
Vampire Diaries was a show. This was like I know what you're talking about. I can't.
This is well before that. Yeah.
But anyway, like I believe Tom Cruise like turns this little or Brad Pitt turns this little girl into a vampire, and like it's weird because like I don't think they would put that in movies nowadays because they were insinuating somewhat that they were romantically involved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting subject because like that's definitely frowned upon. Like you can say like, oh, she's older, but like clearly,
there's going to be a physical element at some point in this relationship.
Yeah.
And regardless of the fact that that is a legitimately grown woman, you're fucking a kid. Like you're looking at yourself fucking a kid.
Yes. I mean, yes.
So
yeah. That's so.
What's she gonna do? Like,
that's so weird. That's so weird. But look,
what's she gonna do? She ain't working with nothing, bro.
Find a kid, like find a teenager.
Look,
yeah, that's true. She can't even ride a bike, huh?
Like if they in their perfect world, in their perfect world, in their perfect world, she has to find a pedophile. I mean, basically, but then the pedophile has to also, I guess, like his girl's mature, I guess. I mean, like that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense in this relationship. Like, I mean that is the weirdest thing.
Yeah, we tiptoeing around this. It's kind of tough to talk about.
I'm trying to follow our principles.
Yeah, man. I'm here. I'm with it, Doc. I'm with it.
I'm interested in this. I'm just trying to break down their
let me be clear about what I say when I'm with it. Let me be clear when I say when I'm with it, what I'm agreeing to. Hold on, son. I'm down to discuss the topic in further detail. That's what I'm
thinking of more movies. I just keep thinking of more movies and stuff. Has this element.
You're right.
Man, I'm sure there's so many too.
That is called Diary of a Vampire. And there's even an anime time with Josh. There's an anime called 7 Deadly Sins, where like spoiler alert for anybody that watches this. The two of the main characters, Elizabeth and Meliodas. Meliodas is like the son of the devil. Elizabeth is this chick that keeps getting reincarnated. They fell in love. They got cursed. Elizabeth's always gonna die. Meliodas is immortal, and he's always gonna find her. They're gonna fall in love again. Then she's gonna die. This last iteration, he finds her where she's still a baby, and then like watches over her until she becomes like 16, and then they fall in love again. I'm going, isn't this weird now? Like you kind of groomed her, even though you know this is like your reincarnated, that's her. Like you didn't want to like just show up later. Like, okay, I found you too early. Let me come back and enough time has passed.
Yeah, it's like the balls that some people have to even put that out nowadays. I guess it's because it's anime, like maybe the culture is a little different there, but meaning not in America, but
No, no, man.
But it's just I think it takes a set of balls in general to put something in like that grown people, like probably grown men are behind some of that anyway. You gotta it takes balls to put that out, man. Unless it's a story that's based on true events and you just have if you were asked to tell it straight up, if a movie or whatever comes out and you were asked to tell it exactly as it is, maybe the context is different. But other than that, man, you got a real set on you to put that out.
That's interesting though, because I think it also depends on the culture. Because I say that because Kirsten was actually reading this book that was recommended to her by I forgot the guy's name, but he's a Japanese author. And I guess in the book, the guy is like, I don't know, he's a grown man, so 30s, 40s, something like that, and he's describing girl, I guess a girl he's attracted to or something like that. But she's like, I don't know, I think she's like 14. But he's like describing her like in detail, like her boobs and all that stuff, and she ended up discontinuing reading the book because it just kept going to that type of stuff. And then I was like, because I didn't know like if the guy was American. I knew the guy was Japanese. I know if he was American. So like, is he from Japan? And I went and looked at the age of consent in Japan because I know it differs in different countries. And the age of consent in Japan is 13.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
there you go, culture.
That's why the book is talking about the 16-year-old in this way, or however old she was. But I know she's older than 13.
Right.
But like I said, in other cultures, that might be completely not a weird thing, which is crazy that just being thousands of miles away, something can be completely normalized.
R. Kelly should have went there, bro.
Perhaps.
Yeah, man. My man will be thriving right now. Dang. Yo, just picture seeing R. Kelly in a fucking
Komodo.
Oh my god! In an anime movie, bro. Hearing him sing in an anime.
What was that one? Afro Samurai.
Oh man!
Samurai.
That would be so funny, bro. Oh,
I will say his episode of Boondocks is hilarious.
Oh yeah, yep. I forgot that was a thing.
But moving on, that's enough about Robert.
Yeah.
This is a few weeks ago. All of our favorite artists, Beyonce, and if you listen to this podcast, you know how much we love Beyonce Knowles. She does a show in Dubai. Show was only an hour long. She made $24 million for an hour-long performance. And of course, the aspect I have to bring up is that she got a lot of flack from gay Twitter, queer Twitter, because Dubai is like mad anti-gay. And she said, I don't give a fuck about that, even though she's supposed to be a big advocate for the LGBTQIA plus community. She said, but that money though. And so they acting like they not gonna, still go see her when she goes on this tour.
Yeah. Man, look, I don't know that it she can still go do her business. I don't know that it means she all of a sudden supports all of their ideals. She can do her business. I just want to know, at this point, with her being Beyonce already, how hard does her agent or manager really have to fucking work to be like, yo, did somebody really push, like, we want 24? And they were like, no, 21. They were like, it's fucking Beyonce, Or everybody just know it's Beyonce. Like, how hard does her agent and manager really got to work, man? I'm curious.
I feel like it's
a hell of a job.
It's less like promoting her like it would be for some acts, and more making sure like all these contracts are thoroughly scanned and all that kind of, like, it's more protective than it is anything else.
So do you think that 24 was easy to get? I guess because they got plenty of billionaires there. I'm sure maybe that 24 million was nothing. Was easy to get.
24 million was light work.
Yeah. And honestly, about the like the outrage, which I didn't even really know that point, but you can't be picking what countries you go to by all of their
politics.
Ideals or cultural,
I mean, you can,
norms,
but
she doesn't have to. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
It's like what I'm trying to say is like every country has something that you not gonna agree with.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're gonna not go
Facts.
to a country because you don't agree with one thing that they do. Like you coming to do your thing, not going to fulfill their lifestyles. Like
so their requirements before you get on stage. Come on, man.
If anything, she will be shedding light on a certain lifestyle to those people, and obviously they have demand for her. So
how would she be shedding the light? How would she be shedding the light?
Because she I mean, I would assume that she is comfortable with those people and their lifestyle.
I mean, yeah, but unless like she makes sure everybody on her tour is like flamboyantly gay, like I don't know that it's really gonna show that much. It's like she herself is not.
I mean, her fans and like you said, her performers. I'm sure
a good chunk of them are. Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah. So just by that itself, like you bringing that there.
What if they all like? What if anybody that security assumes is,
Hold on, Aaron, because your hands in front of your mouth. I can't really hear you.
I'm sorry. No, my bad. I was saying that like, what if because of how strict Dubai is, they make all of them like sit out behind the gate or something? Like if you're wearing a certain color, if you wear like bright orange or bright yellow or whatever, you got to sit out behind the fence. Man, then they gonna go crazy then, bro. But they gonna go crazy then. But I mean, I'm just fucking around. But like, I really doubt. I guess Twitter sometimes is just a really good way to vent. It's just a good way to be like, yo, I don't like this is going on. They know that they ain't changing no fucking laws in Dubai, bro. They're not changing laws in Dubai. They're not changing no norms in Dubai. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
But,
so on this subject of if you get 24 hour, if you getting $24 million for an hour of whatever is the best thing that you can do, you doing it?
Yes, like if they want me to go make the KKK some cardboard crosses, sign me up.
Cardboard effigies for the Claire.
Nobody gonna know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, bro. You gotta get this money.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
You gonna see a cardboard billboard being like, kill them niggas.
I talked about on here how like Hugo Boss like made the uniforms for the Nazis.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Russell Brand was at like a fashion award. I think Russell Brand was at like a prominent fashion awards ceremony. He actually got an award, and when he got up there, he talked about it, and they actually like escorted him off the stage because he was making that a very known fact. But he's also he's always that guy, man. It's part of why I actually like him. He's
fully rising figure.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I'm sure we could uncover. Yeah, I'm sure we could like uncover all kinds of shit like that if we start connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. And I'm not saying people are wrong for this, but like that's why like sometimes people will want to protest a certain product or a certain, and I'm not against that. I mean, if people want to do what you want, but for me, I always kind of say to myself like, man, if we protested every single organization or industry that did us wrong, we would basically just be standing on the street, just standing there because like everything has done us wrong at some point. Is like.
Right.
Everything, bro.
You live in a capitalistic society.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this. Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. Like so, and I'm not saying don't have morals on what you buy. So like if you're against what this company does, then of course don't support it. But I'm just saying though, like sometimes it is hard to keep up exactly with every company's ethics. And of course, if you want to do the research, then go ahead. But
that part, yeah.
Now, on the other side of that, you got an opportunity to make 24 mil, but you got to successfully do something that you know you suck at, or that you almost have no idea how to do. Are you taking the chances?
Would you box with Mike Tyson?
What's the? I was literally gonna say like.
I'm gonna give you 10 more years.
There's a major consequence on the other side of this. I just didn't think of one. I think that's a great one. Like you gotta fight Mike now. You ain't even gotta fight like prime Mike, but still current Mike is a devastatingly deadly person.
Yep, I saw him in that bar video like 2 years ago. Nope.
Bruh, how long do I have to last in the ring? Under a minute?
I don't think you will.
I'm gonna make it a minute, to be honest.
You're just gonna fall like
that's exactly. He gonna swing. He gonna swing and miss me, and I'm falling. If he swings and misses me, even if it's obvious, I'm flopping, dog.
So yeah, you got to last in the ring with Mike for 5 minutes.
On all fours, son. I know how it sounds too. On all fours. I'm crawling around that motherfucker.
Nah, you got to fight. They ain't going out like that.
Hey, I would take that 24 million to move to Dubai, son. I'll move to Dubai. I don't know nobody there. I don't give a fuck if they clown me or not.
That's hilarious. Adam's like, no, I'll run the risk of dying. And it's like, no, man, you go ahead and take this ass. Let me get that 24 mil.
Yes, sir. I'm investing well and I'm moving to Dubai.
That's hilarious.
They gonna outcast you when they find it out. Exactly. How you get that money?
You ain't even fight. Hey, hold on, man. I didn't agree to giving the ass away, man. Hold on, I didn't agree. I'm just assuming Mike Tyson's back is giving him some problems. So he ain't gonna be able to swing that far down, you know?
Nah. Yeah, he's slowing down. That one video of him like throwing punches behind the McDonald's cash register. I was like, that nigga is dangerous.
Oh, for sure. Killer Mike forever, man.
Punch that hard.
Yeah, that's what
I tried in about 10 years, maybe.
Killer Mike forever, bro.
Oh man.
But with the Beyonce topic though, I don't know why I just feel like Jay-Z had a little bit of input with this, like, or had a little bit of his name. I don't know. I just think he has something to do with the negotiation.
Her fans about to, man.
Like,
she can't do it herself.
Speculation.
She need a man. Yeah.
Well, from what I've been hearing about how he pulled the strings behind a lot of music stuff, like a lot of people didn't want to like pay attention to Tory Lanez's dad about how he was talking about Jay-Z and stuff. I don't know if y'all caught that little snippet, but he was basically just like he was ranting after the court case, and he was just saying like Jay-Z is not a 100 businessman, basically. And
I wouldn't assume he was been a billionaire.
Was this Tory Lanez or his dad?
His dad. But
gotcha.
But it's been a few business things that people have critiqued him on. But that's, I mean, like Adam said, that's business. Yeah. But I just feel like, you know, he probably could have pulled some strings with this deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's known, like, Beyonce has never been known to be like business savvy. I mean, so it's not to say her manager isn't brilliant, and I'm sure whoever he or she is probably is to be her manager.
Yeah, but didn't her parents play her, or mom or dad? And
her dad was her manager for a good while, and then when she got beyond a certain tier, like, she had her own management team. I'm not saying she ain't business savvy. I don't know the fucking business. Who knows? But yeah, I assure you, the 24 mil she made for that hour, she's gonna make buku more on this tour she's about to go on.
Yep. Yep, she definitely is.
I just
Granted,
think
be more work, but she is gonna make more.
Yes.
this is probably a separate subject, honestly, what I'm talking about. But we look at Jay, we hold him in like such a high regard. And I just think it's maybe some things behind the scenes that we may not know about.
Well, that's a good point because
I don't doubt that.
I hold him in high regard for his music achievements.
Yeah,
I don't know about his business, but I feel like in general, I guess maybe in the culture, if you would say, he is praised or appreciated for his business sense, not just music, and how he showed and is an example for others. Which I think is like the idea of that is dope, but that's a very good point. Like I think it's nothing but respect typically given to him for that business sense, but you never really you never really ask questions like, is he on some fuck shit at all?
I mean,
he got a lot of critiques, like with people around who came up, around him. I mean, look at Dame Dash. That's like a prime situation, but is a lot of those situations. Jazzo.
I guess that's true. I just feel like the mass majority like appreciates his whatever he did in the rap game in regards to business.
Here's the thing. I think the mass majority.
It's like a mogul, like the outside looking in, like a mogul.
That's what I'm saying. Like that outside looking in, you only looking at service shit. It's like people in rural America that still look at Trump like he's the greatest businessman of all time, even though there's more than enough evidence to the contrary. Yeah. And so I think it's a whole thing of a statement I've said on here before that I stand by is like, it's no way to make it to billionaire status without doing some evil shit. Yeah. So hearing like the sentiment of there might be some nefariety or what have you having to do with him, like, yeah, probably because he has so much money. So yeah.
How far down the line do we go with that, right? In regards to like, there's probably some nefariety because he has so much money. How far down the line do we go to be like, all right, at this point, he did some fucked up shit, or the decision he made really fucked somebody up?
I don't know. Does it matter?
It depends on how, like, do we want to hold people account? How do we want to hold?
That's what I'm saying. Because in that case, you got to do that same thing for a lot of millionaires. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to. I'm not excusing it. I'm saying it's in the same way that, like, do I think that descendants living today of slave owners or people who, had anything to do with the banking system or redlining and all that kind of stuff should be held accountable for the things they did to make sure that Black people couldn't accrue wealth over generations? Should they be held accountable? Absolutely. Can anyone be able to do the legitimate research to find out exactly who those motherfuckers are? Maybe, but there's so many things in place to make sure that doesn't fucking happen. So it's the same way that, like, whoever the fuck Jay-Z screwed over in order to get his bill, they might be able to say it, but what the fuck you gonna do?
And a lot of times you can legally screw people too, where it's like, or it's just like,
that's true.
I mean, you
that's exactly
and it's like, I mean, so you can do all the, like, I'm just kind of can't even get all the words out, but like, what I'm saying is I'll say this, like, I've always been a fan of Jay-Z's music. I don't fantasize about his wealth. Like I remember when Kanye West said, like, when he became a billionaire and everybody went crazy, I'm like, why does that matter to you? It never changes my mind about a person. Like, I didn't like them because they were rich. I liked them because of their music. So because the person is doing all of these deals and making money, like, that's great for them, but I literally don't care. So it doesn't. So with that being said, like, now look, if it turns out that, somebody peeled back the curtain and then turns out Jay-Z has some sex trafficking ring, and okay, then that's, then I'm gonna have to draw the line there, but I don't think he's doing nothing that crazy. I mean, I hope not. I know people said he was part of what's the
Illuminati
shit.
Illuminati, which I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I do know what it is, but I never.
In the Illuminati. But
I just want to meet one member, man.
Right. We don't
I just
know
want to
what
meet one person who actually is in it.
Yeah. I just want to know if it's real or not. If someone
That's
said,
what I'm
like,
saying.
like
That's what I'm
if
saying.
if it is real, fine. I don't even care who's in it. But if someone said no, it's a legitimate thing. I'm like, okay,
Well,
okay.
like that's how that's how I'm assuming I would actually. That's the only way I would assume. Like, all right, this is real. Like, you gonna take me. You know, you gonna show me the fucking blueprint. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, shit. Adam, you said something that I want to speak toward. It's gone. Oh well.
Was it about Jay-Z specifically, or
it was something you mentioned inside of talking about Jay-Z, but I don't remember.
Let me say a thing about like the Illuminati thing. Like, we know that there's somewhat of a small group of people who control wealth in this country.
Marco's conspiracy corner.
It's not. Y'all know that.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Don't y'all
I'm
know
sure.
that?
I'm sure.
That's a
I would say
well-known
there's like an understood idea. There's an understood idea that like, you know, there's a certain there are certain corporations that you could say are tied to just about everything, and those people who run it. Okay, is that what we're getting at? Is that what we're getting at? I mean, that's kind of this. How can they be different from what you're talking about if they both run pretty much everything? If that's the case, who might even run news, all the news channels, and have ties and everything?
I don't know. I didn't make my point.
Okay. Fuck my point. Yo, fuck my point. My bad. Get your shit off.
You're gonna make me lose my point. Trying to guess my point. Basically, so I've found out, I guess, that there's a small group of people in this country who control the majority of the wealth. Like that's kind of a well-known thing, that like the middle class is kind of diminishing. Mm-hmm. And
it's very true.
There's people who control these companies. But anyway, my point is, what does it matter what their name is? What does it matter what their name is? You can call them Illuminati, you can call them illuminated ones, the devil worshippers, the holy ones, like whatever you call it, it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact remains that those people exist. Like, we don't know what they do, if they do rituals or whatever. That's the conspiracy part to me. Like, what does that part matter?
I feel that. Who can? Yeah. Like, how much effect are we really gonna have? Let's say, if I'm not saying it, you know, let's say the homie Jay-Z is a part of it. What if us not supporting him anymore? That's probably not gonna have that much of an effect. So you're right. Like that type of shit. Why do we focus so much on who it is specifically? You know, like, is it gonna matter that much? Is it gonna take away that much control for them? Or?
I think that we just put too much weight on what Illuminati, like the word, like is a scary word, but it just doesn't matter what they call them. It's just that these few people do actually control wealth. So, we can move on.
I don't necessarily know if cause I'll say this thought, and then I think I remember what I was gonna say about Adam's thought. Watch me forget the other one now. I can't necessarily say in my experience of that information and conversation, or any person, whether they be, you know, well-read or conspiracy niggas, about the Illuminati. I don't know that anybody has ever been like, you know, the name. The practices come up, sure, but I think it's usually people want to feel like they know how the manipulation's happening. We all accept that as not rich niggas, we're being manipulated in some way. But for whatever reason, the conversation usually leans toward, oh, but I know how we being manipulated, even though I'm doing nothing about it. So I don't necessarily know I ever hear people be like, well, you know, I care so much about that they're called this, if that's what you're saying.
I think I'm more so saying like those people, whatever we call it, I think basically what I'm saying is that name kind of gives it more mystique and more kind of myth.
It's many more connotations to that name specifically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Associations and all that. Yeah.
Right. Now you can attach rituals. Now you can attach Bohemian Grove. Now you can attach all these things that have been conspiracies or topics of discussion. And now you can attach that to it. And now, like, kind of like what you said, like, now what? Now what can we do about that?
Right.
Because
not very much. Yeah.
Maybe they call it Illuminati so they could attach those things to it, so we can have some type of idea of what they do and where they are. You know.
Because I think that's a lot of it is people just want to feel like they have some kind of control, even in situations where they don't.
That's all of us, I guess.
Yeah.
That's living.
Or there is some goal that we can achieve to destroy them, like, because if there is, then why hasn't it been done? Like,
I mean, I'm gonna let them ride it out. I'm gonna let them ride out, man.
But to slightly backtrack to Adam's point of not caring about when celebrities hit a billionaire status and all of that, it's something about the psyche of a lot of people who subscribe really hard to our capitalist society. That they think, one, there's a false sense of familiarity that people try to find with celebrities. And inside of that familiarity, they think they have proximity to their experiences.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
And so,
especially with Instagram.
Huh?
Especially with like social media, because
Instagram,
folks posting their homes and kitchens, like, oh, I'm in such kitchen, like
that's literally that is how it keeps going though. Like that's how they stay relevant.
Yeah,
you feel. I mean, you want to be like them. Otherwise,
literally with podcasting, when you listen to people talk for hours and hours and hours, you think that you're really getting to know them.
Yeah.
So you see. There's someone right now that's like, oh, if I see Charlemagne or Weezy from Horrible Decisions, if I see them on the street, I can talk to them like I know them because I've listened to them so much, not realizing this person is a completely foreign entity to you. You about to say something, Marco?
Also, like Kanye, for example, like he comes from the area that we come from, so a lot of people may attach his success to us, like it
to
may
it being
not,
possible.
Well, not even that. Just to see him succeed is something that we want to see. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel like that would only have significance for me if it was like, okay, it shows that I can grow up in the South Side of Chicago and do it too. Maybe you know
that too, definitely.
Yeah,
but I don't necessarily need the people I look up to be, like, to Adam's point, I don't need them to be extremely wealthy. Like,
agreed.
But a lot of people tie their value to monetary gain and materialism. And so they're going to try to be looking, they're going to be looking to those people. But yeah, they're going to be looking to those people.
Not knowing what you went through.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell you the last time I heard a motherfucker be like, man, I'm trying to be like Byron Johnson. Byron Johnson richer than most of these motherfuckers. Nobody thinking about that.
He's richer than Trump, but no rappers say they want to be Byron Johnson. Like the back of the 90s, everybody wanted to be Trump.
Right.
It's in so many rap songs. Like who's the Black Trump?
He's like a flamboyant character, like
exactly.
Flashy. He kind of flashy,
right?
And it's this idea that if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, that you're free, and I don't necessarily believe that either. Really,
that's true. Yeah,
you got to sustain it. Shit.
But hold that thought. We're going to be right back. We're going to hear from our sponsors. And then we're going to come back and knock out these last little couple things about sports. Because, we care about that sometimes.
Put the ball in the hole.
Or something else. But
lost a lot.
We want to thank our sponsor, Cosmic Slide, the best lube for her too. And, we got
right on.
We got your favorite flavors out
That's
there.
That's the theme song.
You said what?
I said right on.
Right on.
It's just some dude who pops up like right on.
They got the new flavors, everything bagel. Kosher folks out there. We got cinnamon raisin and
sea salt
and sea salt and cracked pepper.
For a natural taste.
For that natural taste.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So let's jump to the sports area. Let's start with the annoying shit. By annoying, I just mean it makes no sense. LeBronald Jameson.
That's funny.
Had a fit. And this, I think he was my man had a whole improv session. He had choreography. He did a backflip to his knees.
Praise dance number.
Bagged the refs, grabbed his head, looked at every teammate.
He did verification. He started going to the audience like, "Did you see it? Did you see it?"
Patrick Beverly grabbed the camera.
No, that was the best fucking part. Patrick Beverly walking up to the ref with a camera in his hand, being like, "Foul." Now, there's nothing on this camera. He's just being an asshole.
Jack Nicholson still go to the games? He started talking to Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just like as like the sports media people, Patrick Beverly just taking the camera out of your hand?
$4,000 camera. Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, he's a funny dude. Like in interviews,
He really is.
That dude's a funny dude.
Another Chicago guy.
That makes complete sense because Chicago motherfuckers are hilarious. That's the best technical foul I've ever seen in my life. Like that's the funniest technical I've ever seen. Fellas, did y'all have any thoughts about this? It was clearly a foul.
Oh yeah.
I personally, I think LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. That's indisputable. He's about to pass Kareem. About to break a record that nobody thought would get broken. All that aside,
on top
that
of
nigga's almost 40. I don't know how anyone that age is throwing a fit like that. It looked weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard to watch, honestly. Yeah. I was embarrassed. It was like one of those cringe things. Like, what are you doing? Like, I do. Like,
he should have been saving his knees for the next years. I got something to say about that though, man. Like, after seeing him act, I'm just surprised that he's not a good actor.
I was about to say that, bro. Like he's just trying to transition into a good carear.
Yeah, I mean,
acting,
maybe,
man.
I didn't see Space Jam, so I don't know what his acting did. But if that was an indication of what Space Jam was, that lets me know.
He was in some other movie, like I forget what it is, like a relationship type movie.
Oh yeah, some old Amy Schumer movie, right?
Yep.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah, I saw that too. I forgot what it was though.
A clip of it, and it wasn't very impressive for him. But
Yeah.
on the court, he's a great actor.
Skip Bayless always says, because he always has a critique of LeBron, but
right,
he always says, like he realizes that he couldn't chase MJ anymore, so he moved out to Hollywood and started chasing Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
that's good.
Skip is like he has this corny funniness about him sometimes, where like he's actually funny sometimes, but he will say the joke over, and he probably will say that joke within the next 4 episodes. He says it like repeatedly, but it's like, all right,
Hey,
man.
just let the joke be the joke and like just hey, you got that one off.
Yeah.
Like
Like an old man, basically, just like, all right, you got us.
Right. I don't know. My general thoughts of what I said is that your legacy is too prolific for that.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre that basically in 2 or 3 games he's gonna break the all-time scoring record. But like 3 games ago, he was jumping around like a fool. Like,
but what's funny is like he always been kind of critiqued about how he does that. Like after every little thing.
Yeah,
like he's been called like a crybaby a few times.
Yeah.
Right.
He is.
Career, so it's been consistent
because he's been flopping for forever. Like
honestly,
he's a flopping pioneer in my opinion. But
yeah, he doesn't do as much anymore.
He's paving the way for the new generation.
He probably doesn't do as much anymore just because he's too old. Just be following him for no reason. Like, all right, man. Like, I'm not gonna be just following just to do it. But no, he's always been dramatic. He's over dramatic and he's very theatrical.
I was gonna say he paved the way for Luka in that sense because Luka is such a crybaby too.
Yeah, he is.
He's a big crybaby. Like somebody had touched him when he was like slapped his arm. Like every player when they walk into the tunnel is like, hey, whatever. And he looked back like, what's going on? Like he wanted to cry about that. Like somebody gave you a pat on the back, bro. Like
not a foul, man.
Hey, was LeBron questioned after the game about this at all?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. It's huge.
I wonder what he said. Was he like how he justified it and shit?
I think they were too busy focused on like
the call,
them not getting calls and not respecting players because it's dangerous to the players that they can be fouled. And the whole thing was had that foul got called, the score was tied. This is
they
they probably would have won that game.
Yeah.
Because we would have gotten free throws.
They did end up winning.
No, they lost.
They lost in overtime.
Really?
Yeah, they lost, because they was basically they won like the next game in overtime. They've been going to overtime for like all season. But I trust me, I get the frustration because like I kind of know the Lakers season just because I do listen to Undisputed all the time and they talk about the Lakers all the time. But like so basically the Lakers are like they're under 500, but they're like they could definitely make a push if they wanted to. Like they're only like 3 or 4 games under 500. So if they really wanted to make a push, they could. The thing is, so games that are that close is like you just gotta, you gotta bring them home. And when you're playing basically the best team in the East that you couldn't beat, it's like, dang, we could have beat the best team in the East, and we lost because the ref didn't call a foul. It's like it is deflating. I can see that, but you gotta have. You can't act like that, dude. You too grown for that, man. Like by all means, be frustrated, but that's like falling to your knees, like you just got shot in the chest, like dude, like. Come on, man! Like
I was watching. I was on YouTube watching this thing with Allen Iverson mic'd up. There was a couple times he went to the ref and was like complaining about some shit. Like, "Yo, you didn't see that?" And the ref was like, "I saw it, man, but I thought you were losing the crowd." So he's like, "Why the fuck did you get moved with the crowd, dog? So you saw the fucking foul?" He was like, "Man, you were losing the crowd. I gotta do my job. You do your job."
I saw.
You never know that kind of shit happens probably more often than we think.
Yeah, I saw one clip that was making the whole comparison to MJ, and they were like, "Yeah, because Jordan would never do that." And then they showed a clip of him back when he was for the Wizards, and he was like, he was saying to the ref, like, "Hey, man, you didn't see that foul?" He was like, "No, I didn't. But if you said it happened, Michael," and then he called the foul for him, and like, and was just saying straight up to him, like, "Hey, I didn't see it, man, but Michael, you called it, so we'll give it to you, Mike." Like, he was mic'd up and everything, so like.
that was one of Michael Jordan's criticisms, but honestly, when he first came to the league, they were really beating him up.
Yeah, they were the Pistons whooped Michael's ass.
Yeah, they were knocking him out there at every turn, like of course.
So
for me, like I'm not taking anybody's side. It's just like if it's a foul, you got to call it. I don't care who it is. Like some people, like he's a superstar. He should get the call. I don't care what position he is. If you slap somebody as they are shooting, call foul.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I like it's been so frustrating watching games in NFL and NBA ruined by officiating. It's frustrating. I don't even follow the Lakers, but it's frustrating for me just as a fan of competition for the right thing not to happen. So it's frustrating for me, like just watching. Like I actually watched the game live, and I rarely watch NBA games like that. But I watched that one. I actually watched this meltdown happen live.
To make it even worse, like, how do they decide when to like implement the replays? Because that would have been, they could have just easily at the end of that overtime looked at it and gave him the foul shots and put the time back on the clock. What's wrong with that?
Like I don't know how basketball works, but I know in football, obviously we know that there's certain type of calls that can't be reviewed. Like so, and maybe is basketball one of those? I don't know if that's a reviewable thing.
I know they just like updated those rules recently because I've seen them like it's like a green light that flashes and then the refs go to the monitor and decide. But I don't know when do they decide to do that, because they obviously missed the call in the day after the refs had came out with the statement like, like we're so devastated that we missed this call, and just saying like they dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, they have actually like the union, like the actually like ref union, and there was like they never do that. Like they never like just blatantly like we messed up. Like that's why it was such a big deal. Honestly though, if LeBron doesn't figure out like that, they probably don't make a statement. Like I think his reaction is what brought so much attention to it. I mean, because referees blow games all the time.
Yeah,
and I'm like, unless you follow the sport, like you probably don't know about it. But because LeBron acted like a damn fool, it was like, all right, this is gonna
and because he's LeBron.
Exactly.
And it's the Lakers. Like I know we're not trying to stay on this forever, but the Lakers are like the darling of the NBA. Of course, so like, of course, they was gonna come out. And LeBron
and they were playing the Celtics.
Right. It was big, yeah.
The other they both have 17 championships among each other. It's like it couldn't have been a bigger matchup. I mean, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah. Well, let's finish this out with a hilarious interview from Gary Legend.
The homeboy, hometown legend.
Brother Garland. Darius. So Darius is being interviewed. I couldn't really hear who made the statement, but essentially it's a post-game interview, and I'm going to paraphrase. Dude says, "Hey, Darius, do you agree with this assessment from some other sports writer that Darius is the kind of player that'll smile in your face as he busts your ass?" And Darius responded, "Yes, absolutely. 100% agree. I love smiling in faces while I bust ass."
Indubitably so.
And I gotta tell
you, by the way,
that is the greatest response he could have made to that. And why are reporters running out of things to ask NBA players? What kind of question is that?
Yeah, they do ask terrible questions at these press conferences. They really, really do.
He should have gave him that Westbrook, like, what you talking about?
What? And I gotta tell you, I want a woman who's like, oh, I love sports, to just throw that into conversation, like how Adam be throwing like random Office references into shit. I just want her to be. I want some chick to be like, you got a really nice smile. You want to smile at me while you bust my ass? Like I really,
I got a good. That's a great point. Like I got a good idea for the WNBA, since they're lacking in like get the reporters on that bull when they talk to them. I don't know what they would say, but
I was like, that could go south real fucking fast.
Oh my God.
Oh man. But
I think every so often you get a wonderful amount of just realness, man. It's like a glitch in the matrix. It's always refreshing, man. It's always refreshing.
Yeah. It's cool to have. It's cool when there's a good talk speaker that they're being interviewed, because like Justin Fields, like he's the obviously starting quarterback for the Bears. He is a terrible person to interview. I mean, he just sits. It's like he gives you nothing. Like there's like doesn't. He answers the question in the most vanilla way you can. It's like he just basically says what like you're supposed to say. It's like I hate like when they interview this dude. Like I like watching them play, but I hate hearing them speak. It's
like reading from a prompter or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know if he worse when Derrick Rose first came in the league.
Yeah, I remember that.
He could not talk.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was great, dog.
So we're gonna wrap it up right there. That's about this podcast.
That's it. Let's just end it. It's just nice.
He was like, yep. Conclude. Shout out to last week. I did not say the name of the person who sent in the audience suggestion. That was Jails, aka Angelique, who's a longtime listener, somewhat fan. Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate description.
Thanks for the question.
I'm pretty sure she has listened to every episode of the podcast and has all the criticisms that she never shares directly with anyone besides me. And so
we appreciate you anyway.
Yeah, shout out to Angelique. She's the
best. Love the Beyonce episodes. I got you.
Oh, she ain't give a fuck about that. But no, it's normally whenever something ignorant gets said, and then we talk about it for like 3 minutes, and then get deterred into something else. Big criticism. But should be all right.
Hey, try a podcast. That'll happen a lot, especially with poor people.
Well, she was actually on the podcast, but I'm not gonna deter into that. We can cut that. But yes, so thank y'all for listening. Yes, that was all I had to say about that. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. Fellas, any last thoughts before we sign off?
Nope.
Not necessarily.
I mean, keep busting ass and keep smiling.
All right, y'all heard the Candy Cane and Plaid. We love you. We appreciate you.
This motherfucker, man. I'm only mad because it was actually funny. It was really good.
It looked like a long hallway.
Those leading lines.
Every conversation that you have, every person you engage with, and every connection that you make, we encourage, empower, and implore you to always be forthright, be vulnerable, and especially when it's inconvenient, keep that shit honest.
Peace.
Can't look
Peace,
in the
world.
eyes of my brother without shedding a tear for my brother. I really wanna try for my brother, 'cause I truly do feel for my brother.